Alright guys, welcome to another video. We're here in my garage again, getting ready to work on this 350Z. Finally going to get this thing done. I've been sort of wasting time and not getting it done. I'm also filming on a new GoPro 10, so pretty pumped about that. Hopefully it'll help a lot with my stabilization and stuff. I don't know, it's got a few extra little bells and whistles compared to the 9. But plan today is get this thing up, get the coilovers swapped out, and get the rear knuckles in, and then we'll go from there. I got a few arms I need to replace some bits on as well. Get this thing up and I'll show you guys quickly. Alright, under the car now. Now you can see there's a few little things like this. You see that arm there is bent. This is the incorrect lower joint. GK Tech have actually just released a heap stronger version of this, which is this one here. You can see it's way thicker than the material on that one. So I have one of these for each side of the car that needs to go in, as well as the knuckles themselves. Change the coilovers in the back. Another thing I need to tackle on the 350, probably after its first drive, is getting the rear muffler situation sorted out. It does have resis at the moment, but it is like, it never had mufflers at the back here. And me personally, I prefer to have the exhaust come out the exhaust holes in the rear bar. So we'll take it out, we'll give it a test as it sits, and then we'll go ahead and, you know, replace quite possibly the entire exhaust. The shop has some time soon down at Black Arts, so we'll see if we can get it in there and get some work done and get this exhaust all sorted out. But I'm gonna have to tackle the rear knuckles first up and the rear coilovers. But doing the rear knuckles means literally everything's got to come off. Both brake calipers, undo the CV, undo every single arm. Quite a bit of work involved in changing the rear knuckles, but like I said, I'm much better off doing it now than, you know, setting the car up, aligning it, testing it with this setup, then changing the coilovers, testing, blah blah. So yeah, this is about the way to go about it and get started. So I've gone ahead, get the whole back of the car apart, replace some of my arms here. Now I need to go down the track because I know I have some spares of these arms, and I need these end pieces to fit on the new knuckles. I'm at a stale point though. I don't have the right size socket to fit this, and wifey's not home. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish removing these rear coilovers, and then I'm going to go on to swapping the front coilovers, and then when wife gets back later, I'm going to have to go down the track, see if I can find these pieces I need, see if there's a socket at the track with my stuff at the track that will fit this. I think it's a 36. If not, I have to go for a trip to the hardware store and get a 36. It's always something that stands in the way with this build. I really want to get it out there. It looks like it's going to be raining pretty bad tomorrow anyway, so I don't think I'm actually going to get to test it. But nonetheless, we're trying. So I will, what do I need to do? Some 12 mils for up in here to get these coilovers out, and then I have to probably get hold of GK Tech or read my paperwork and find out exactly how much of a drop knuckle they are, because I'll have to run the coilovers higher than they were to compensate for the drop knuckle. So if you guys haven't seen already, these are the drop knuckles here. So a full-on replaceable knuckle with twin caliper built in. Very nice looking piece. I actually can't wait to see how it goes on the car. I'll be able to basically compare it, because it's not like I've forgotten what the red 350 was like to drive. Obviously this one's got a lot more pep, but it also means I'll be able to wind every little bit of grip I can into this car and make it absolutely fly. So yep, all right, I'm gonna get these rear coilovers out and get onto the front. All right, I've got all this suspension out here. You can see I've got my front shock works, the MCAs I just pulled out, rear shock works, and rear MCAs I just pulled out. Now, I guess I'll just go through some of the basics on them. Obviously, coilovers, these are actually quite a bit different in the way that these are built. Notice straight off the bat, looking at them, Shockworks all run these bottoming out sort of, I don't know what they're called, but bottoming out dampeners, I guess. The bump stops. And I don't believe there's a little bump stop at the top there on the MCAs, but not as serious as the Shockworks. And I don't know where the MCA Street Blue, they're just like the basic coilover, so that may explain it. Quite a bit smaller front shock, way smaller front shock than what Shockworks run in theirs. They look like they're a bit heavier spring too. I can't see a weight on them. 1,200 pounds, I don't know what that means. Where these would be a 14 kilo. So maybe they're, and that says KPS 15, maybe they're a 15 kilo spring and these are 14. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I'd have to look more into that to find out. But way bigger actual spring setup on the front of the Shockworks, and a larger base as well for more adjustment, I guess. Some other points to go over. As far as actual travel, it seems similar. I think they might be a little bit more droop on the Shockworks, and then on the rear, it looks like the rear on the MCAs have more droop than the Shockworks. So I say I can't back to back them, but we'll be able to see the way Tiana's car handles bumps and whatnot, and then we'll be able to compare it to you know, how my car handles bumps and stuff like that, and compare the two once they're out there and running. The front's easy. I'm just going to adjust them to the same height. The rear's a bit more difficult. I'm still waiting to hear back from GK Tech about how much of a drop knuckle they are, and whether I need to make adjustments with the knuckle itself, with the suspension to take up that. I don't know if any of you guys have ever fitted drop knuckles and then you don't adjust your coilovers and you put your car on the ground and all of a sudden it is like on the ground because you forget that there's a 50 mil drop, for instance, in the knuckle itself. So I need to find that out. I need to lock that in 100% before I go ahead and chuck it in the car and try and get it off the hoist, and can't even get it off the hoist. I'm gonna go ahead, adjust the fronts now, get the fronts back in. Rears, I'll be able to put them, I'll put them in at the top, and then I'll wait to adjust the bottom when the other knuckles go in. The other thing actually I didn't point out is Shockworks have the adjuster for the rear shocks in the back. Sorry, underneath the car, which is interesting. Can't think of whether that would be like, well, I guess with with the MCA setup and with 350Zs, you can't actually get to the top of the coilover. So I guess to adjust the suspension on your MCAs, you'd have to cut out a piece in the back of the car, where I guess the Shockworks, you get them from underneath, and that way you don't have to cut your car apart. And obviously with your stock interior, that would be a big issue. Yeah, fronts are pretty similar. The only difference, I guess, is the brake line, I guess, holders or whatever you call them, are integrated into the lower shaft on this one. Either way, MCAs are going to end up in wifey's car, and I'll get these Shockworks in my car, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in now. All right, front's all together, got it all pieced together where it is. I got the rear knuckles loose now, so now I just need to go and get this 36 mil. Wifey's home, so I'm going to grab the car, head down the track. All right, been to the track and back now. Got the piece that I need, so it's the same as this side. I need that for this one over here. And unfortunately, I either need to wait for Rob to get home and borrow one off Rob, or wait till Tiana. This whole one car thing at the moment, one registered car on the road thing, is literally killing us. Tiana's going to give blood this afternoon, so she can't, well, she needs the car which means I obviously can't take it. And I need to go to Bunnings because I was hoping 32 would have been big enough, but turns out I need a 36mm socket, so it's going to hold things up a little bit. Hopefully still get it sorted out today, but she needs to go and get her blood taken, and then when she gets back I can run down to Bunnings. And then I'm still not going to get this done tonight. Might have to keep this vlog going in the morning and just miss out on a day of getting a video up for you guys. So I apologise that there wasn't a busy video yesterday, but we'll catch up with this one in the morning. Alright, it's not the next day, but neighbour rod to the rescue maybe?
No. What?
Is that too big or not big enough? Alright, that's the right size, is it?
No.
Bloody close.
Must be 36.
Oh, is that 35, is it?
35 now, I've got 30.
Oh. Okay, maybe tomorrow. So Rob, you're saying you don't have the tool?
No, I don't.
Yes.
I own the tool.
The day has finally come when Rob doesn't have the tool I need. I'm gonna have to go buy one.
No.
What a stitch up. Kind of neighbour, bloody hell.
Oh,
Oh,
hang on.
nah, that's not big enough. Nah, 36 is massive. Alright, I'm gonna have to find, we'll wait till wifey comes home and go to Bunnings. Alright, I take it all back. The old tool had the tool. So, I'm gonna get straight onto it now. I've already got the, starting to put the hub onto the new knuckle. Rob's thankfully got the other one off for me. For some reason it had different size bolts on each side, so go figure. Thanks Mitch. But yeah, alright. I'm gonna keep mucking around with getting this together, and hopefully we can get this back onto the car. Alright, I've got a bunch of the rear knuckles all in. Turned out I had to take the CVs out completely to get to the bolts up there, but that's also the reason I can't finish it tonight like I'd like to. Oh, actually I have to go out anyway. I'm gonna head down to the build's headquarters, so I'll show you guys a bit of that in a minute, but that's about all I can get done on this. I have to go out tomorrow and get Loctite so I can make sure I Loctite that bolt, because now it doesn't have a circlip pin anymore. I think while I'm under here I'm going to do the diff bushes as well tomorrow. I have a feeling I'm going to be cancelling the track. Yeah, it looks like there's a big storm coming, which means, to be honest, I don't know if I'll be able to work out here. So I am undercover, but there's a big thing along there, and we're not fully enclosed here. I am going to do some work on here soon to sort of enclose it a bit more. You know, do as much as I can while still being within the council rules, because this isn't allowed to be enclosed as far as I'm aware. I don't necessarily want it enclosed. I like the breeze coming through. I don't have a problem with the heat. I like the breeze more than aircon, so I'm happy for it to continue to not be an enclosed thing. But if I can, you know, maybe that sort of stuff right up to the top, all the way around, just to stop the splash of rain coming in, I guess, and keep things productive. But let's head down to the build's headquarters now and see what's going on there.